As we know, a lot of the really popular trading indicators out there that a lot of people love to use are as old as this guy is. Some are even older. And I've always had a problem with this. Given that there are so many thousands of modern indicators crafted this century for modern markets, why are we still relying on older indicators like this? I think a lot of it's just ignorance. And so I was happy to bring a lot of this to the table through this channel, but most people still don't know. And they are purposely using inferior tools. So I've rallied against older indicators ever since this channel came into existence back in 2018. Now, I try not to speak in absolutes because there are always exceptions to the rule. Every once in a while, there is an older, outdated indicator that comes along that even though it's very old, it still manages to perform very well. Might we have something here? I mean, of course we have something here. We don't bring you indicators on the indicator profile series that don't perform well. Some better than others, of course, but when Dan brought this to my attention, I was a little surprised at first, but I shouldn't have been, because I have actually used this in an algorithm long ago. Back when I was with FXCM, I was putting my metals algorithm together, and they have a different, it's not MT4, they have, what's it, Lua, I think, .lua, and I used that version of this, which is a bit different than the one we're about to see, but I liked it. And I probably used it in my metals algorithm for about 2-3 weeks maybe before I found something better, but it was good enough for me to use. And so I shouldn't be surprised when I see this coming back. I never bothered to download it for MT4, but again, I did remember it working. And again, we always show you indicators that do perform, but it's always an added bonus when you have some kind of unique factor to it. And what makes this one unique is the fact that it is, what? Trying to think in my head, just do the math, 60 years old, and it still performs. Let's get into it. Before we do that, though, if you're new, we do videos like this all the time. This is the premier indicator channel on YouTube, but a lot of what we talk about might not make sense to you. So go to nononsenseforex.com, read that first page, watch that first video, and you will be caught up with us in a hurry. But for the rest of us, let's get into the specs. The year is 1962. Well behind the 1996 and on threshold that we like to see here. But again, that's what makes this thing such a novelty. It actually does okay. The type's going to be a confirmation indicator. By the time we're done with it, it turns into a zero cross. The default version of this is going to look a lot like the MACD. But you're going to see pretty soon what we do to it and how we optimize it. Now, as far as exit indicators go, in the form we're about to show you, I don't recommend it, but if you leave it in its original form, it might have something, it's just not enough for me to give a definitive no to. But there are a few different ways you can play with this one. But we're just going to show you the one version that we came up with, and it looks like this. About as clean as you're going to get with this histogram. So as soon as the color changes from red to blue, that's going to be your long signal. Conversely, when it changes from blue to red, that is your short signal. So you obviously want to avoid moments like this and this. But again, that is where your other pieces of the algorithm come in. There's really not much else to talk about here. It's that clean and that easy to read. So let's go ahead and get into the performance. Before we do that, understand, the only thing that matters is how well this indicator does in your system. I would be willing to bet that the top performing indicators we have seen since we've been doing this are probably not even going to be the best for your system. You have to test them all because every system's unique. So while we always try to show you indicators that perform, always take these results with a grain of salt. And also know what you're getting down below in the description is a link to my automation blog showing you how to test these on your own. There's an embedded video showing you how to run the MT4 strategy tester. Make sure you've seen that. As always, you get the blog on Stonehill Forex that shows you the history, the formula, the tweak settings that I don't show you here that you're probably going to want to know. You can find all those things on the blog. I'll give you Dan's second email address if you want to send him an indicator for review. And I shouldn't say for review, for submission for the possibility of us reviewing it on this indicator profile series. Chances are low, but send it anyway, because you never know. And then, as always, a place where you can go download all of these yourself on MT4. Are these available on MT5 or TradingView? We don't always know. I have a feeling something like this one is going to be, but most of the time you're just going to have to run a Google search and find out. Now, on to the results, starting with the EURUSD. Very nice, consistent, right around that 10% ROI mark on both of these. I like 30 trades for EURUSD because I trade 36 pairs. So 30 to me is a very good number. I don't know if that's going to be too low for you, but I personally like it. 66 would probably be a little high, but I don't trade the 4 hours, so it's kind of irrelevant. Just depends on what you like. Moving over to gold, you're going to see pretty much the same results here. This is going to be a theme. Very solid, good amount of trades too. I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe you are too. On to the S&P. I see a theme here. This thing is remarkably consistent after we tweaked it. Again, if the stock market's bringing in about 11% a year and you're already starting off close to it before the other pieces are even added, that's a good thing. That is something to absolutely test if you're an indices trader. And then Bitcoin, sometimes we get a lot higher results on Bitcoin. Again, this thing is the model of consistency, giving you really solid results regardless of what pair we show you. I don't know if I've ever showcased an indicator this consistent across all 4 of these, but super interesting. Like, the Coppock Curve should be in everybody's toolbox. I will be downloading it and introducing it back into mine, because all of this was just quite unexpected, even though it shouldn't have been. Score 1 for the boomers. But if you like stuff like this, we do this all the time, so subscribe, hit the bell. We have everything going on here. Trading Psychology podcast every Monday, Indicator Profile series every Wednesday, blog on Thursday, and an investment podcast every Saturday. We leave no stone unturned, traders. Take advantage and go get it.